Greetings, wonderful viewers, wherever you are. Welcome to Atlantic TV, the home of TV revolution. As always, we're located in the little smiling coast of West Africa, the Gambia, and looking at our studios right here at the West Coast region side of Gambia, that is Parato, Como South. Welcome to favorite program on sports, that is on TV, Atlantic called Sport 360 Light. Well, Sport 360 Light is back again with another wonderful information, especially to our audience out there. My name is Bakary, manneh, aka Bigsam, the host. And today, my guests are from the West Coast Region Zonal Championship, better known as West Coast Super Nawetan Organizing Committee and the Media Group. Well, we talk about West Coast Region Zonal Championship. It was born 5 years ago, because why? The West Coast Region Zonal Championship will be, of course, officially opening its 5th edition, that is 5 years in a row, this weekend on Sunday, the 2nd of November 2025 at the Bigsam Box Bar Mini Stadium. The information is last year defending champions, who in fact they won this two times in a row, that is Funny Zone, will play the Super Cup against their contenders in the final, that is Burfoot. And this is going to be on Sunday the 2nd. Well, more on that, let me introduce my panelists to discuss. In fact, we are launching also the countdown to the D-Day. So the countdown starts today here on Atlantic TV on the 29th Wednesday, and you can both count until on Sunday the 2nd, where everything is going to be. Well, from our right is the one and only, well, he is.
Well, I am Ibrahim KB Shonko, and good to be back to Atlantic TV, the home of TV Revolution, like you guys call it. And it's a pleasure to be back again.
Thank you, Ibrahim KB Shonko, of course, the journalist. And next is...
Yeah, of course, I am Lamin Jara, and yeah, and like we always say, it's good to be back to talk about what we love talking, especially at this medium.
And from far on my left is no other than...
I am Sadio Ganso.
Thank you very much, back home. I love that. And that is my boss. Here is their home, huh? Atlantic TV. So we are back again. And like I said, the West Coast Region Zonal Championship 5th edition commences on Sunday with a big, grand Super Cup final. Defending champions, that is 4 years old, will play against Burfoot. Brother Kevin Sonko is part of the media, is among the media committee, like I am heading the media. And of course, Lamin Jara now is the PRO of the West Coast Regional Zonal Championship, and at the same time a media officer. There is Sadio Ganso, who is the head of the organizing, or the chairman of the organizing committee, who are the organizers of the event. And also, he also double, because he's always with the media team. Well, to start the conversation, we'll go to the where it matters much. This is where we get the information, the competition department. Because without the competition department, no tournament or no functions are done. So, yes, we want you to open the whatever part or information from the back regarding the 5th edition of the West Coast Zonal Championship. Chairman of the organizing committee, Sadio Ganso.
Thank you, Bigsam. I think the most exciting news today is to announce partnership with Bigsam Area Council for coming into the aids of the West Coast Region Zonal Committee. That is going to give them a sponsorship package that is going to cover almost 70 expenses for the committee. So the Bigsam Area Council is going to be in partnership with the West Coast Region Zonal Committee. And then to add to that, I think from last year to this year, we have increased 2 new zones by the name Kombosila Zone, and then we have the Tujaring Zone. The Kombosila Zone will comprises of 8 villages, notably that is Sifo. We have Sifo, Nyofele, Bonsa, then Kasakunda. Some other villages make that comprise of 8. So while if you talk about the Tujaring Zone, these are the surroundings. We talk about Patokungu, we talk about Tanje, we talk about Maria. So these are some of the villages that will comprise to make up the Tujaring Zone. So that will give us 13 to go for this year. Now, these two new zones, it need to be very clear that they are on the trial phase to make sure we don't land ourselves into troubles or whatsoever. We are giving them chance, they complete the participation, so that we see how they will thrive or how will they end up at the end of the day, so that if we are going to include more or we are going to be there for now. But you know, sport is all about expansion, and then we're going to move. From there, I think this time from the organizing committee, some recommendations were made during our past AGM, that is talking about the inclusion to the revelation of the man of the match awards, starting from the Super Cup. Now it will be as usual with all Navetan grounds. There will be man of the match awards for the most outstanding players during each game from the Super Cup to the last whistle of the tournament. So I think these are some of the important evaluation. And then likewise, if you also look at the executive structure, as you already announced, Mr. Jara as who is also appointed as the PRO, whilst Bigsam is in the head of the media team, and there are some restructuring, or let me say repositioning of people. If we look at out of the 11 that we are participating, we lost 5 of the executives that have gone through elections in their various communities, and then we have new members. And then from there, we can say it was discussed and then announced, or let me say it was discussed and agreed that secretariat needs to be changed. That is now from Dembo, Al-Amin, the president of Sukuta Zone. Al-Amin, that's his official name is Lamin Sane, but he's fondly called Al-Amin Sane. The president of Sukuta is now the new secretary general for the competition. From there, we have some structures. The presidency remains with Bakary Bojang. His first vice as Sambaketa, who is going to be the head of the finance committee. And then we have the second vice. I am sitting here, that is Sadio Gamzo. So then we have our treasurer, that is going to be Yaya Ba, the president for POSDA, who replaces Mr. Lamin Dembajang. Just to note this one, Lamin Dembaja is still part of the finance committee because his financial expertise is more much, and then he'll be there to make sure he helps the finance committee in their dealing. So he's still with the finance committee, but Yaya is now appointed as the new head of the new treasurer. Then from there, we went to some committees. Lamin Fati, the president for the Fabi zone, who resides, I think, at Yundum. He is the compliance officer to deal with things compliance. And then from there, the organizing committee, I know that most of the zones have already changed their membership, their representation to the organizing committee, whilst the appeals and disciplinary committee remains intact. No changes. Maybe many don't know, but Salamin Kamara alias Tip is the chairman of the organizing committee. We have Mr. Basiru Bajo as part of the appeals, and I beg your pardon, that is the appeals and committee. The head or the chairman is Mr. Lamin Kamara alias Tip of Lamin, and Basiru Bajo is part of the appeals committee. We have Abdul Karim C, who is part of the appeals committee. Dembo, who was then the secretary, was also part, so that he'll be the secretary of the appeals committee, but now he'll be replaced with Al-Amin Sane from Sukuda. And then I think those are the members of the appeals committee. So I think we went through a lot of changes, a lot of changes, but for now, these are some of the revelations that will come from the organizing.
Well, thank you very much, Sergeant Thompson, the chairman of the organizing committee. But officially, before we come today, this has been from the media to the outside, because I, in fact, have a telephone interview on a sports program at Africa Radio. On the 2nd November Sunday, it's a confirmed that the counting started until that. I want you to confirm before we do this other guys.
Yeah, I think it is already confirmed hours before we even start this program. Now, I know there are a lot of confusions, and then at one point in time it was on the 2nd, another time it was on the 1st. Now we are, but what is official now is on the 2nd, that is on the Sunday at Box Bar by 4 p.m. when you will lock on with Food Zone.
Thank you. Jara, London Jara is now the PRO, also part of the media. We definitely are right when we say yesterday on FNB that it's on the 2nd. Until it also comes so that we are a little bit in the disorder, but here we are as the PRO and yes, as the media officer also. Yes, it's now certain that the 5th edition kicks on Sunday? Noted.
Yeah, it's certain, and you could remember when we went to bed, yesterday, by this time, we were in a limbo or in a dilemma as to when are we going to have this. But thank God, as it was promised that, come today, before we come to this medium, we will know when this tournament is going to kickstart. And now we are glad and proud to say that it's going to be on Sunday, and what a game it will be. So I think, like he said, over the years, there has been a lot of transformation that has gone on. But again, you look at it, it has gone for the right reasons and in the right direction. Because when this tournament kicked off, on the 27th of September 2021, at Marrakech, when Brikama, zonal team took on, Central 2, many doubted that it would go on and on. And 5 years on, we are here staring up the skies and seeing all the opportunities and what are possible. And over the 5 years, it has just been great, and it's just getting greater and bigger, every edition. And you look at it, the 4th edition was great, and the 5th edition just promises to be something, that we are going to talk about for ages to come. He talked about the inclusion, although it's a probation base, it's about, you perform and we are happy with it, and then you're given the green light and the green ticket for you to be a confirmed zone in the West Coast. Remember, it's different from the national Supernawetan. This is within West Coast. So, for the fact that we are having, 11 zones competing in 4 years, now in the 5th year, we're going to have 13 in the inclusion of Tujere and Komosila zone. I think that has shown everybody that, as enshrined in the constitution, in the aims and objectives of this championship or of this tournament, is that, to make sure that there is that platform for everybody within West Coast to have a platform to play football and increase, chances of you climbing higher heights. So, this is just a clear indication and a clear manifestation that, we will reach there. And we cannot wait for Sunday. I did say this yesterday, up to this time, at one point in time, the pendulum kept on shifting from one point to another. One point in time, we branded Gunjur as the most, successful team in zonal championship in West Coast. But Foni have just taken the baton from them, and they've just decorated themselves as the best team ever. They might not play the best football you like, but they just know how to win, and winning is becoming a habit for them. And they have a score to settle with foot without a doubt, and the fans just cannot wait. You could remember on the 15th of February, they played a 2-1, entertaining game at the Box Bar when they had already played the first final. Was it on the 29th of December? Shortly before the turn of the new year. It was a 2-all draw. Fantastic game it was. And then yes, on New Year, 2025 in February, they came back on the 15th, was it? And Foni went on one step better to write their own history. And you look at Brookwood, they feel that, I think if ever there is a time for us to come back and write the history back, it's now. Because if never, I cannot remember the last time they played against Foni and won. And again, in that final, they put themselves in pole position, and they couldn't hang on to win it. It ended in a 2-all draw. And in the second final, they lost it by 2-1. And now it's a case of we lost a final against the same opposition some 36 weeks ago. Can we come back on Sunday and rewrite the history? That is where the narrative of this final is going to be. Because both teams have a point to prove. You look at Foni, yes, they've won the championship on 2 occasions, in 4 years. And they've never won the Super Cup, like I said yesterday. So there is a lot of history at stake, and the people have to come in to say, look, when the history was really reaching, we were there. And Foni have a point to prove. Buffon have a point to prove. Whatever happens, there is going to be a new name on that Super Cup. Remember, in 4 years, it's only 2 teams that have won the Super Cup. Brikama won it on 2 occasions, and Gunjur won it once. Foni, the last time they played the Super Cup, they lost it. Burfoot, the last time they played the final at the Box Bar, they lost it. So it's about, you lost, we lost. So it's about now, I don't want to lose, you don't want to lose. And the fans will be excited. And I'm sure this is going to be on a knife's edge, and it's going to be edgy. So therefore, everybody who is out there, should be prepared for anything and mark the calendar for the 2nd of November, of course, at the Box Bar to see this.
so interesting. So many tourists. Phone is going to be there. Phone is going to be there. So they come and take charge. Phone when they come at 9 a.m. in the morning. So that's going to be something. Ibrahim Kemi Soko, the journalist, one of the most experienced, award-winning, and I officially recognize him as my next, that is my assistant. Ibrahim Kemi Soko is responsible for a daily match schedule of West Coast zonals to attend games. Kemi, the season is open, your job starts right here, the campaign starts here. Yes, on the second is the D-Day, your take.
Well, thank you very much, Bigsam, once again. I think the West Coast Zonal is becoming the most, the best around. And since we have started, we have seen all regions also emulating West Coast. Just like we normally call ourselves, West Coast is the best coast. And we have the numbers, and it's the numbers that everybody, not only journalists, but not only sport administrators or football administrators, everybody in the region should come together. We should join hands and forces to make sure that we make a difference this time around. We understand, our sister regions, some like KM will start theirs, next week too, this week coming rather, and then previously we have seen North Bank, they also are with their West Coast, with their own zonal. So this is big. So for us, we are not beginners as far as organizing such tournament is such tournament. And this time around, since that we have 2 new zones to come, I know it is going to be very, very competitive, because some of the groups you look at how they will become competitive is just beyond my mind. Like for instance, when you look at the group D that involves Gunjur, Sanyang, and Sukuta, for me, that is just the group of death. Wow. Imagine Gunjur playing against Sukuta. Anywhere it is going to play, maybe the head of the organizing committee, Ganso, can help us. But that is the Banter Derby. Even if there is nothing at stake, the bragging right alone is big. And we know that game, they can play for 35 hours, there will be no fight. Because at the end of the day, the joking relationship, will take the banter, will take center stage, and it will defeat any other thing. But again, for me, the big game will be Gunjur, Sanyang. What is at stake. Gunjur, Sanyang, wherever they meet, it's going to be tense, it's going to be big. But one good thing about this tournament is, it's not like the El Clasico we watched the other time. After game, and then there will be punches with the players. No. After game, it's handshake, and that's what we are waiting for. And thank God, this time around, the Bigsam Area Council is coming. For now, we don't know how big they are coming, but knowing that the municipality or the area council in our region is coming to support, it is going to be different, because at the council level, I know this is ours, this is theirs, this is for everybody. In fact, maybe we are just organizing this on their behalf. Yeah. If they have the expertise, they would have even organized this. But now that they are also coming on board to make sure that they support this tournament, wherever you are, let's start it, because the continuation will be at the Bigsam Mini Stadium, the theater of entertainment, I call it. And then everybody have to come on board, come as early as possible to witness a tantalizing encounter. Because like Jara said, this is Foley versus Burfoot. The Burfoot, the other time, no one knows, when was the last time they played the final. But now that they taste how finals are, in fact, they played the first one, the winner could not be produced. The second one has to come. Then they narrowly lost to Foley, and now is another big one. But this fuck up is not small, because there are many zones that are playing the West Coast zonals without a fuck up trophy to celebrate. As big as Bigsam, they brand themselves as the capital of West Coast. The only thing they can explain or they can talk about in this tournament is winning. This was twice. Yeah. So, Bullfoot, here is your chance. And 42, here is your chance to conquer. They are back-to-back winners, and they would like to add another goal to it. And here is the chance. So, everywhere you are, either you are from Bullfoot, you are from, Foley, or most especially, you are within the jurisdiction of West Coast. Make sure that we all go to Boxbar, pay our little $100 to patronize the committee. They are never going to be disappointed, because football at Boxbar is the final
Honest, football at Box Bar, the Theatre Entertainment Center is at another, especially when you talk about a final coast region. People will tell you, Phony will come. How about Como will come? So this is going to be another one. That's additionally, we would like to give you the opportunity to please launch the countdown to the 5th edition of the West Coast Region Zonal Championship with a grand final that is Super Cup on Sunday. You own the mic now.
Yeah, Bigsam, as you say, the countdown, I think it is just to say it is officially open, but it is already open because since yesterday we started campaigning for people to be aware and know what is happening. But I can say the countdown is up because phone you get a lot of calls from phone, you get a lot of calls from Brewfood. It's only today, just to confirm the date. It costs a lot of conversation, a lot of calls here and there to say, is this thing really happening on Saturday or on Sunday? You said Sunday. Are you sure? Yes, okay. I know those yes means something, means okay, I have an errand on Sunday, but now let me shift it to Saturday. Yeah, let me do X, Y, and Z. So I think the countdown is already on, and then I hope so. Those who want to come and watch the game, they will come as early as any time, because remember, Fodi has gone through some transformation. The head coach in FIDA is no more with them. It is Ahmad Tamba who's going to lead them this time around, and it's going to be a lot is going to be expected from him. You and I will be here, we know Foni have won the thing twice consecutively. So I think Ahmad will also be having sleepless night. He will want to make sure his fans come and then give him the necessary support so that his inputs, will be powerful. But looking at Brewfood again, as Jara said, I think they have a score to settle against Foni because everybody will expect now Brewfood to come and then clinch that Super Cup trophy. At least let them also, despite the jockey relationship, also I want to say, but they will want to come and then have something to go home with. At least the last time they came to Brikama, it was empty-handed. So they will not want to come again and then looking at how the preparation is, because I'm following their Facebook page and then some of their WhatsApp groups, I think it is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger because lots of people are planning to come and then occupy Boxwa so that they will also outnumber. Because one of the things I think one of their people said is Foni outnumbered them in terms of the fanfare, so they will want to come and overshadow that one too. But Boxwa is there, as Jara said. The answer, or if you want to get a definitive reply, is $100. So they at Boxwa, be there or nowhere, so that you witness. Don't wait to be told, or just be at Boxwa so that you also witness what is going to happen there on Sunday.
Jana, anything else as the PRO to our viewers?
Yeah, I think we've said it all, and all what we now waiting for is Sunday to come and see an almighty battle between two teams. And without a doubt, this 5th edition is always going to be like never before. One thing about this championship is every year there is something new, and every year there are new discoveries. For the fact that is going on, I think that is a tap on the back to the executive and whosoever is part of this. They deserve their flowers, and we got to throw the flowers on them, because of what they are doing. And yeah, you look at it, it's going to be exciting, and I can't wait because there are a lot of histories at stake in all the groups. You look at Group A that KB has rightly mentioned. It's nobody wants to play against the other in that group. 3 teams. The last team Gunjur will want to play is Sanyang. The last team Sanyang will want to play is Gunjur. The last team Brewfood will, Sukuta will want to play is Sanyang, and the team that Sukuta will not want to play is Gunjur. So that's what makes that group very important. But again, you look at it, the last time they played, they beat one another. Brewfood, Sukuta beat, the first hat-trick of this tournament was scored in that fixture. Remember when Abdulkadir Sabali scored a hat-trick against Gunjur, and they ran riot by 4 goals to 0. And the last time Sanyang played against Gunjur, it was at the Nyamina on that fateful Friday. KB, we were there, you, I, and Saliu, on the 18th was it, if I can remember, and then Sanyang were beaten by 3-0 against Gundu. So nobody wants to play the order. So there are a lot of histories in that group. But again, you look at the Super Cup, that is what is coming. And this is the reason why the fans must come. They must pay their $100, they must pay their $200, and well seated to look at the narrative that is going to be, or the script that is going to be written, in the field of play. Because we look at it, they have a score to settle, and of course they have a score to settle. It's not just about winning. You talk about the Super Cup. To me, I think it's big, and that's why the name is Super. Because you have to do something extraordinary to reach a Super Cup final. Not everybody reaches a Super Cup final. You have to do something that no team has ever done to play a Super Cup. So that's, the two teams should be proud of what they have done, and the captains and the managers should definitely be very, very proud of themselves in leading their team from the dressing room or from the tunnel at the theater on Sunday. And again, you look at it, for me, it's funny who are up against it. For the first time, I know it's always bold, and it's always difficult, but everybody knows that sometimes I don't have any two minds in terms of what I feel and what I think is what I want to say, because this is football and anything can happen. But you look at the 5th edition, for me, food are ready, and you feel Foni are ready as well. But then I think it's Foni who are up against this. Their fans have loved traveling to the box bar. Each time they come, it is success. You could remember they beat Bigsam in that famous 2-1 game. Game that made them grow like bushfire. And they went on to win the 2nd edition. In the 3rd edition again, it was not a thing of beauty. Yeah. It was so scrappy, but somehow they reached the final and they won it. But again, for me, the reason why I said it's Foni who are under pressure and Foni who are up against is this. When they come out on Sunday, a lot of things will not be there. A lot of ingredients will be absent. When they come out from the dressing room on Sunday, history will be made, because the greatest man in the history of the West Coast zonals will not be there, in the name of Ibrahim Kamara Fita. He's won it all. He's won it twice with them. Any box you bring, they've ticked it. And there might not be another Francis Gomez. There will not be an Idrissa Kamara, you feel. And there is not going to be their winning captain, Idrissa Jiba, you feel. And there is not going to be their winning captain, Famara. Is Famara Jaju. So, but again, they were in that position before. The last final they won it was with Captain Miasi. The second final they won, it was with Captain. So all these things are in place. So the time definitely basically that's it.
Yeah, against me. KB, do you have any other thing before final word? Because the time is definitely.
Yeah, just to read out the groups for the viewers to know. In Group A we have Foni, Central 2, Costa, and together. In Group B we have Brufut, Brikama, and Fabi. And in Group C we have Lanen, Komo East, and Komo Silla. And in Group D, that's why like we said, the group of death, we have Sanyang, Sukuta, and Gunju.
Finally, KB, before we go, what's the final?
Well, to welcome everybody to Box Bar, to make sure that, like Ganso said it before, there is no place to go on Sunday, because the biggest match of the region, is going to be played at Box Bar. So if you are a bona fide citizen of West Coast or someone who loves football, wherever you are in the Gambia and you are getting this message, please just come to Box Bar. The entrance to the field is just $100, and if you want a VIP treatment, it's just $200, and you watch the beautiful football at the theater of entertainment.
Ganso, finally going to go?
I think I just want to say we will appeal to the fans, and then those who are going to be there, let us maintain decorum, and then let us be self-disciplined in whatsoever we are doing. I know some of the people will say, wow, the crowd will be massive, but I think we talk about security, we are our first security, and then we have to make sure the place is secure for everybody, so that life still goes on. The Super Cup is not a do or die, as Vicente will say. It's not a do or die game where you say, I have to win it by force. No, it's not in like by force, because this was for you. Other zones have been trying, they don't even play final. So if you are lucky to play final, talk less of a Super Cup. So I think that alone is an achievement. So I'll have to say, let's be ourselves security for that day.
Finally, John?
to the neutrals, because Fonyi will storm the box bar, and Bullfoot, they have been the best fan club, and they will not want that flag to go away from them. So they will be at the box bar as early as their vehicles and their legs can carry them. So as Fonyi. So to the neutrals, if you want to have a space, you have to be there early.
That is it, and that brings the end. The countdown starts today. Yesterday was on the radio and today on the TV. Meanwhile, the 5th edition of the West Coast Region Zonal Championship called the Super Navatan West Coast Region kicks off with the Grand Super Cup final on Sunday, 2nd November 2025 at the Theatre of Entertainment Center, that is Bigsam Boxman Mini Stadium. 4 p.m. is the kickoff. Fonyi, the defending champions, takes on Bullfoot. See you all there, and thank you so much for being there. Keep on sporting.